Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Thor issue 33. Yeah, cool looking cover, but this doesn't exactly happen in here. Things like this kind of happen, but we don't really see Thor's sister popping up, at least from the future. But there are a lot of things that happen in here. So, instead of starting off in Latveria where we left off last time, we now start off in Vanaheim then with pretty much Thanos being out of time in Bor's time and like hunting and doing kind of crazy shit and saying how he like remembers life before, both his life and his death. He remembers losing sight of Hela as they fell through space and time, through time and space, and the agony of the black hole. And he's been here for years, but Bor will create something that will change the universe, and Thanos would not miss it for the world as he pretty much gears himself back up to his usual kind of stuff. So we switch off back to Latveria, and we see that Jane is able to see kind of what's going on, and we hear pretty much the usual voice talking about Victor Von Doom knowing the cost of magic, the mystical invisible transactions that pull and push power like currents through the realms, but there is a difference between cost and value. And recreating the world comes at a hefty price, as Jane calls for Mr. Horse to get Runa, and that she can hear the screams of souls that are burning, as he's pretty much using souls to fuel what he's attempting to do. Talking, and the narrator's pretty much like, this is no different than a general sacrificing soldiers on a battlefield, or a king shaping history by the blood of others. They knew the cost of victory, but the value of lives lost. All those lives sacrificed remain unknowable to almost everyone, as we see that he's just doing what he's doing, and Hela is pretty much berating him, saying it's a crime against existence, creation itself. What, to remake the world in your image? Asgard's at your door. You've lost. And then he's like, nah, Bor's vault's open. I got this. It's only a matter of time. It's like, what are you trying to do, Doom? Of course, we see that Thor's then pretty much dealing with the vast, like, mind-controlled people that are there, and then he pretty much gets told to, like, stuff it by a Doom bot. That we're just merely defending our land, as he starts using Mjolnir to deflect the bullets and everything. Still trying to reason with Doom, telling him that to stop hiding behind his Doom bots, to face him, as we get a nice kind of like thing of showing Thor getting ready to like thunder zap. And then the Doom bots like, just leave earthly matters to men. And then the Ravens are like, said the creature of metal and wires. And then Doom pretty much makes us like, okay, you're not a god of Earth, Thor. You are a celebrity, a hero. So go be a hero, Thor, Odin's son. As he then pretty much makes his people pretty much go and like throw themselves off a cliff. And then Doom pretty much spells it out as like, I doubt you can save them all, Thor, but I hope that I am wrong. For what it is worth, this gives me no pleasure. I'm like, all right then. There's got to be other ways to do this kind of stuff then, Doom. We switch back to Niflheim then, as we see that the stranger, Thanos, has popped up. And Bor's like, tell me, Miskun, what do you see in him? Where does he hail from? He is neither Jotun nor troll, King Bor. Mother and father not yet born. Heart of death, thoughts of death. His journey is long. Born to the rock in the rings. He seeks the black stone. And then just talking about how like, okay. Then he's been aware of his presence for 16 winters, skulking through Vanaheim, biding his time. He knows it will work. He knows we make the stone tonight, and he intends to steal it. And then he says, let them try it is time, burn them. I beseech you, my king, they are our dead, our kin, our history. So evidently Bor did the same kind of thing, utilizing souls as fuel, and Bor doesn't really care. What does it matter, Bruin? Let the fire cleanse him. It's like, that callousness, that's not good. The ashes of men are but the shadows of life. It's like, even Bor, he wasn't letting anything get in his way. As we then shift back to what's going on in Latveria, and, of course, Thor comes to the quick realization that the best way to save them is to go after Doom, and he goes in there to pretty much get control of the magic that he's dealing with. He's like, he can't stop them all, but he can stop one. Victor Von Doom pulls power from the reservoir of souls. He tries to hold the hammer to halt the progress, but it is not enough, as Doom tried to stop it, but gets, like, shellacked. This is actually pretty cool art right here. I really like it. It's nice and kinetic and just really shows the ferocity of what's going on. And then Doom pretty much tries to berate him as he's like, release them. For a moment, panic tinges Hela's voice as she tells Thor to just let him go, but enough to make him hesitate. Later, he will understand why. Never mind the man. End the spell. Nothing else matters, and he knows what he has to do. He saw himself do this in the mirror back in the Amber Cave. Magic sometimes feels clumsy in his hands, but this comes naturally. He pulls power from Doom's reservoir of souls and takes control. So he pretty much takes control of what Doom was doing. And he sees all, he controls all, and he realizes. And then, of course, we see Thor being tempted by this power. This is how it could feel. Another way to rule a country under his control. It could be the world. He knows them, and they know him. He feels their unconditional trust, their love, their faith, their worship. But we see that he then starts to fight against it. Rightly so. Their utter obedience, as they're pretty much getting ready to toss themselves over. He knows he should set them free, let them go, but it feels like letting them down. When he relinquishes control and gives them back their will, he feels their confusion and fear. He hears their prayers, and he is tempted. The building blocks of life rest between his fingers. He could take away their ability to lie, or their impatience, their hate, or their doubt. He could reshape their lives. But if he does not know if you can love if you cannot hate, or faith without doubt, and he does not know the cost, so he frees them, he leaves them, and it hurts. As he pretty much gets rid of the spell, and it kind of like blasts apart the room, which is pretty cool looking. And Hela's like, took you long enough, Odin's son. It's like, yep. And she pretty much gets back to her usual kind of self, and she tosses one of her spiky spear swords into something. I think it was the thing that Doom went through. And then, of course, he's like, Doom imprisoned you. You're not going after me? She's like, I must tend to the dead. You are calmer than I would have expected, Hela, less murderous. One does not blame the mosquito for seeking out blood. What does that mean? Night is dark, day is light, men will crave power, and some things are inevitable. And then we shift back to what was going on with Thanos and Thor, as Thanos is asking, after all, what would a god know about death? Let me show you, as they were kind of like fighting. And so they start beginning what was going on. The heavy pieces of shell that once held the galactic seed do not burn easily. Bohr sorcerers thought the natural heat of Niflheim's core would be enough. They were wrong. So they have brought the eternal flame of Muspel from the depths of Muspelheim. Rumors have it that you can see the future in the blazing fire, but no one has ever come close enough to find out if it's true. And then, of course, once they do that, it sets the mountain erupt, and everything starts going to shit. And of course, Thanos is getting close, but the magic is like tearing him apart. Let's see here. In the heart of the fire, souls melt, torn to pieces and smashed together again. All those lost thoughts and memories, ideas and stories, all the love, regret, indifference, joy, and gratitude, all that the dead ever were, is distilled and reborn. As we do not see a black stone, but we see a baby. It's like, what the hell's going on? And then, of course, we see one of the people that was working with Boris, like, freaking just crazy looking. It's like, what the hell, man? And then Thanos is like, a child? Where is it? His questions echo through the mountain, and he's like, where is the stone? But there's no answer, only silence and death as the baby, like, opens its eyes and we see its black eyes. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? So, that's where that ends. So we'll have to see what kind of goes on, since we were thinking that the Black Stone was created in this kind of ritual and whatnot, but it seems that it did something even more different and created some kind of kid. So it was nice to see that Doom is doing something and is connected up with Thanos, the Black Stone, all this kind of stuff. It was nice to see Thor have to deal with a kind of crazy situation, be tempted by this power to take control of these people, and then reward us with the understanding that this is not right and to do away with it. And then Hela having to go off and deal with the whole messes that Doom had made by tending to the dead, which is her job and duty. So we'll have to see what kind of goes on, how Jane will be factored into this, how Runa will be factored into this, and what this new kind of element is brought into play of what the Black Stone is, and who this kid is, and how they are linked to each other. If the kid turns into the stone, if the kid created the stone, what's going on there. So I'm excited to kind of see where this kind of goes, how this links up with Lausa from the future, and what's all going on with that. So even though it's not all connected at this point, we still have a lot of questions and everything, and I can't wait to see how those connections bear fruit. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.